What is good? Welcome to Dub Nation, the official show of the Utah Warriors of Major League Rugby. I am Jarom Jordan. We are live on the Utah Warriors Facebook, Twitter, YouTube account. Subscribe to the podcast version on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Banksy is enjoying a beach in Mexico, but we've still got a lot on tap in this show. And guess what? It's a 3-guest show because your boy is solo. We'll recap the LA game, MLR Round 17 recap, Round 18 preview at Dallas. Connor Burns will join the program, the fullback who has been starting the last couple of weeks from the UK. Season finale at Dallas, we'll talk about it. Sake Tukuafu, the academy captain, they played in Southern California over the weekend. We'll talk to him. He's a USA U20 kid. Hey, World Cup prospect for the United States. Let's go. Zion Going mic'd up. It's a fun one. And Nic Colling will join us to talk about the Collegiate Rugby Shield. That's essentially an all-star game of the best college players that is going to be in Harriman on July 2nd. Nick also happens to be the assistant GM of the Utah Warriors. But let's go back to Saturday and playing LA. Man, we felt confident about the Warriors' ability to win this game, and they almost did. Let's walk through it. 5th minute, Charlie Abel scores a try. That's Robbie Abel, the forwards coach for the Warriors. That's his brother for LA. It's 7-0 LA. And then Paula Sike scores a try in the 12th minute. Back-to-back games with a score, and it's nearly impossible to bring this guy down. I mean, that run, that inside ball, where they've got to be onside, the ruck is formed, and you're giving the ball to the battering ram of Paula Sike, forget about it. 3rd try of the year, back-to-back tries in consecutive weeks, 7-5. Luke Carty, first game played all year for him, for LA, the starting fly half, made a penalty goal to make it 10-5 at that point. And then this is an awesome story. Chad Goff scores a try in his final home game. He announced earlier in the week that this is it. This is the last season for him. He's going to call it after the next 2 weeks. And he scores a try in his final home game. I mean, you look at the smile on Captain Bailey Wilson's face right there. That's pretty cool. The line out, Wilson lays it back. Goff gets it. Great maul into the try zone, and Chad Goff scores. He scored a couple of times this year. He's been pretty good with that. Luke Carty tacked on another penalty goal. It's 13-12 LA in the 30th minute. And this is where the game turns. 39th minute. Gets a little frayed defensively for the Warriors. Christian Poidevin scores a try. It's a great play by Billy Meeks. Luke Carty to Billy Meeks. Joe Mono with the yellow card. And Christian Poidevin wins MLR Player of the Week, by the way. He scores on this play, Joe. Mono gets a yellow. It's 20-12 going into the sheds. And at this point, you're like, man, momentum is lost a little bit. But it is not over by far. But this is where it gets out of hand. Derek Summers was the ref on this one. And it got frayed, to be honest. Crowd not happy about it. 3 yellow cards for the Utah Warriors coming into this match. They equal that in this match. 3. They just double. So Yuri Van Buren. Okay, well, let's start with this. 42nd minute. Yuri Van Buren scores a try here. Look at this. And unlike last week, he's not going to let anyone knock this out, right? Yuri Van Buren's looking around, making sure he's good. The boys on the bench celebrate with him. That's a short-handed try because Joe Mono is in the sin bin for the last, few seconds of the first half, first 10 minutes of the second half. It's 20-17, despite being down a man. So then 3 minutes later, Connor Burns gets a yellow card for what was deemed, an intentional knock-on. Didn't seem so to Banksy and I, in our extremely biased opinion. He's in the sin bin. It's 15-13 for 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? So 1 minute later, Lindsey Stevens, the hooker for the LA Guillotine, scores a try. It's 27-17. Good news. Joe Mono comes back in. It's only 15-14 now. And then Connor Burns comes back in. Okay, it's even for like seconds. Niall Saunders, the backup scrum half in this game, gets a yellow card. It's like, are you kidding me? Andrew Tuala scores a try, 58th minute, 32-17. Feeling tough against the MLR champs, the number 1 team in the West, the LA Guillotinis. Granted, a team that Utah beat in LA in March. Okay, can the comeback kids do it? They almost did. Ali Khalifi scores a try, 68th minute. 32-27 after this. Ali Khalifi, the Eagles, so much experience, 2-time MLR champ with the Seattle Seawolves. Okay, then. We're in business at this point, and still time. 13 minutes left. 1-score game. What's up? 2 minutes later, unfortunately, a great chip. Hanko Hermashais, the USA Eagle, ends up scoring the game winner on a play in the corner, 39-27. 79th minute now. Joe Mano scores another try. Joe Mano is your leader in tries on this team, and he's only played like 5 games. I mean, Joe Mano has been like Miley Cyrus coming in on a wrecking ball. I mean, in a jersey, luckily. It's been amazing what Joe Mano has done for this team. So then, in extra time, the Warriors have the ball, and if they can go down and score and convert the try, it's a tie game. And it just throws a wrench into the West standings with LA and Austin and Houston in the playoffs and who's getting that 1 seed and bye. Unfortunately, the Warriors knock it on, and that's your final score, 39-32, as we take a look at some of the stats in this one. Same amount of tries, 5 each. The conversions and the penalty goals end up being the difference. Really, the difference was yellow cards. But in the actual scoring, it was the kicks, right? More tackles for LA. They had to defend a lot. Lineouts, pretty good. Scrums, perfect. Top 2 scrummaging teams in the league, by the way, in scrums and scrums won. A couple game notes on this one. Most points in a loss this year. Put up a bunch of points. Sometimes points were lacking and it was tough. And it's like, no, Utah scored 5 tries in this one. 7th loss this year by 7 or fewer. I think that's probably the main storyline of this season for the Utah Warriors is this team was not getting, beat handily. They were in a lot of these games. Play here, play there makes a huge difference, right? Season split with LA. Road teams won single digits. And how about this? 20 of Utah's 37 losses in the existence of the club by 7 or less. This is a team that competes really well and plays. If they lose, it's tight, right? It's tight. 3rd game this season with a combined 70 points in the game. Dallas, ATL, and LA. There have been like 11 in the 5 years. So we've had some barn burners this year. Man of the match in this one, Chad Goff. Really cool photo with his family before the match. Get some earplugs for that kid next time here. 2 defenders beaten, scored the tries we mentioned, 10 tackles, pretty cool. The Chad Goff, the former Utah Ute and Indiana Hoosier, in his final home match, gets the man of the match. That's pretty cool, man. And he's also the only Utah Warrior in the first 15 of MLR. Cool that the league gave him that as well. Gets the hooker nod on the first 15. Congratulations to Chad Goff. So 39-32, the final with LA in week 17. Let's take a look at some of the scores from around the league. Seattle beat Houston 43-36. This was on Friday night. Seattle wins, but they really lose because Houston got 2 bonus points, the second of which came on a penalty goal in extra time to get another bonus point, and they clinched a playoff spot, knocking Seattle out. So like a really weird scene at Starfire Stadium there in Seattle. As Seattle wins, but they're knocked out of the playoffs. Atlanta knocked Toronto out of the playoffs, 34-23 Saturday afternoon. LA continues to keep the pace as the number 1 seed in the West, although they've got to secure that this week. Austin beat San Diego, still vying for that number 1 seed. It's tight. We'll show you the standings in a moment. New York and DC, 59-49, the highest combined scoring game in MLR history, and a New York record, 59 points. And then New England, they've been on form, 57 points in a blowout over NOLA, who is, when you look at the power rankings around the league, it's Dallas 13th, NOLA 12th, probably DC 11th, and then Utah's been considered kind of 10th, although ask Rugby ATL, in Austin, if they're the 10th best team in the league the last couple of weeks, and even LA, right? But Utah's found some real form here at the end of the season. Unfortunately, it was a little too late to make a playoff run. Okay, we take a look at the standings starting in the West. Utah, obviously, with 28 points there. Just a couple games, off the pace here of competing for a spot and being in the 40s. The top 3 seeds, all the playoff spots, are clinched. But we don't know the seeds. So the spots are there. We know these are the 3 playoff teams, but it could be, Houston is in. They can't get the 1 seed. They're too many points behind at this point. But LA and Austin, it could be Austin as 1 seed. Now, a reminder for the playoffs coming up, or the championship series, as they call it. The 1 seed gets a home game in the second round in the conference championship, hosting the winner of the 2-3 game. The 2 seed hosts the 3. Pretty simple. You get it. So we'll see what happens this week in the West for the seeding, because it's coming down to the wire, and it's pretty interesting. Utah is playing Dallas, of course, who is yet to win, and Utah is hoping to make sure there's a big donut on there in the win column for Dallas. Okay, in the East, New England has clinched the 1 seed. They will get the bye. They will get to host. They look like the best team in the league. We'll see, right? In the should they make it to the final in the MLR Championship Series, Atlanta and New York. It's coming down to the wire, just like in the West. All 3 of those spots are clinched, and again, the 2 and 3 will be debated this weekend. Toronto knocked out over the weekend. NOLA and DC right there. Okay, so it comes down to the last week of the regular season, round 18. 16 games in 18 weeks. Man, it's been a slog, but it's been awesome. Loved it. Okay, Rugby ATL against NOLA. New England and New York. That's a huge one. Does New England mail it in a little bit and rest some guys? Does New York perhaps get some points that secures a home game in the playoffs? We'll see. That's big time. If you're Rugby ATL, you're hoping New England throws the starters out there, but they don't need to. They've locked up that 1 seed. Houston and Austin in part of the Texas Cup. Again, Houston's vying for a 2 seed at best against Austin. So that's a huge game at Aviva Stadium there and their massive tri-zone. Dallas and Utah. We'll talk about that one. No playoff implications there, but Dallas trying to avoid going winless in its expansion year. Toronto, DC, no playoff implications, but playing for pride there in Canada. And LA and Seattle. LA is trying to lock up the 1 seed. Seattle is knocked out of the playoffs. How hard do they go, right? Playoff implications in 4 of the 6. So there's only 2 that have nothing to do with playoffs. Unfortunately, Utah and Dallas is one of those. So that wraps up the look at round 18 in Major League Rugby. Okay, next week, we're going to do a season recap on Dub Nation that includes what happens next Monday. The team's going to have a banquet. Banksy and I are going to MC that. It's going to be a ton of fun. We did it last year. And we'll tell you the award winners from team voted awards, not to mention recapping Dallas, giving our thoughts on the season. Then after that, we'll go about every other week, about 20 to 25 minutes, and still give you info and opinion throughout the offseason. At some point, some new signings will be announced, right? And we'll get into that throughout the offseason. Then we'll get back into it, in January, February, as we get ready for next season. So make sure you follow the Utah Warriors on social media to get the latest for fresh info, Dub Nation, and other entertaining videos in the offseason. The social media homies do a great job. Okay, let's bring in our first of 3 guests tonight. His name is Connor Burns. He's a rookie out of Lindenwood, and gosh, he's been good. He's starting at fullback the last couple of weeks, and we needed a guy from the UK on the show, so we were like, we know Connor Burns. Let's bring him in. Connor, welcome to the program, and thanks for joining me. I'm feeling pretty lonely. I needed some friendship here. So what's going on, brother?
Hello, how are you?
I'm feeling better now that you're here. Let's talk about the LA game. That was really emotional because you had final home game. You had Chad Goff, right? And you had a great crowd. You had the military uniforms. You had the MLR champs in town. Like, that was a big game. What was it like last week to prepare for that game and then kind of get out on the pitch where there was a lot of energy?
Oh, it was amazing. I think the boys were really excited for their last home game. We knew the fans would be coming in hot. My parents actually came out for that game as well, so it was
Nice.
pretty big deal for me. But yeah, it was a really exciting game to be a part of. It's just a shame it didn't go the way we wanted. But yeah, I think it was a really tough game, both sides, to be honest.
It's a physical game. They're extremely talented. They've got obviously Wallabies and everybody showing up, but you guys certainly were in it. And the fact that it's 39-32, despite 3 yellow cards and 2 that overlapped, including yours, which we'll talk about in a second. That was quite the effort. You guys probably aren't taking moral victories from it, but what did you guys take from that match of knowing, hey, if it's only like 1 card or maybe it's no cards, like, do we win?
Definitely, I think the whole theme afterwards was just the amount of effort from the boys after that game. I think we showed our heart out there, even though how many yellow cards we got. I think we really showed a performance that we can be proud of.
I'm guessing you think you didn't deserve a yellow card on your intentional knock-on.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a 50-50 one there. I think I try to go for it. If I grab that, I'm taking it to the house and it's 7 points. But
I know.
yeah,
That's the
unfortunately, I
thing,
didn't grab
right?
it. And yeah, so
At that point, it's super subjective, right? It's like, does the TMO and does the ref think that was intentional? And was it cynical, right? Is a phrase they use often. Yeah, we disagreed. Banksy got pretty fired up about that one. And it comes at a
yeah,
time where you're already down a man. So Joe's on the bench, but you guys come out of halftime and you score a try. Like at that point, what are you guys feeling like before your yellow? Like you guys score and cut it to 3.
yeah, definitely. I think everyone was excited about that one. It really put a kind of changes your momentum in the game, even with one down. You're thinking, oh, I can score a try of
Yeah.
14 men. Imagine in 5 minutes what it's going to be like with 15. But yeah, just a bit annoying. I've got that yellow card and he went down to 13 for us. But yeah, it's tough.
Have you played in a game where you're down 2 guys, not just 1 but 2?
Not really often, no. Yeah, normally just 14. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird one.
I was waiting for a third one. I was just like, if you can have 2, you can have 3. What's going on here? This is crazy. What was it like to wear those military uniforms? Obviously, you're not a United States citizen, but like donning the red, white, and blue to honor the Thunderbirds. And I love rugby because it has so many people from different cultures, but you guys embrace each other. What was it like to wear another alternate uniform, but this one had a little more kind of United States patriotic vibe?
Oh, definitely. I was talking to some of the boys afterwards. I was like, yeah, it's my first taste of freedom. Yeah, so wearing the red, white, and blue. So, but yeah, they were great jersey.
That's funny. But God save the Queen, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. Come on, man. Michael Almoro, who's like the superest Utah Warriors fan of all time. He has more jerseys than the team. He just weighed in on YouTube. He said, "Great season, Connor. Too bad you got that yellow. That was a bad officiating call. Glad to get your jersey." Oh, he got your jersey.
Yeah. I think he messaged me or
Yeah.
talked to me right after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I've just got your jersey." I was like, "Wait, you want it now? Take it off for him now." And I was on the sideline.
Nice. You're like,
Yeah,
here, you got it.
yeah,
Now you buy it back from him. No, I'm just playing.
literally.
Okay, so obviously, an emotional game. What was it like in the locker room after, as you guys knew? Okay, that was our final home game in front of Dub Nation. Who, let's be honest, Connor, like you've played in this league now a year. You've gone on the road and kind of seen what's out there. Does it feel like a lot of teams kind of rival what Utah can muster? Seattle does a really nice job. There's some other good crowds as well, but like Utah's special. Like, what have you seen about our fans that makes us unique?
I think it's just unbelievable the amount of people that are coming out to games as well. And I also love how they stick around no matter win or lose. They're saying thanks and encouraging us. We're behind you. Yeah, it's just the love and support. The guys stay around afterwards and give us. To be honest, you don't really see that, like especially on the road. You don't see many people sticking around. To be honest, to thank their teams. And you come to Utah, and I'm sure the teams that come here are pretty scared of the crowd. And yeah, the decision goes the other way.
Refs might start being scared of the crowd after this last game too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a bit of a soccer game, to be honest.
They were making their sort of voice known, right? That again, freedom. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna voice our displeasure here. We're talking to Connor Burns, rookie fullback for the Utah Warriors. We talked after you got drafted about kind of that process. So since then to now, kind of how have you evolved as a player? What have you learned about yourself, about Major League Rugby, about the Warriors since then?
I think just developed a lot of confidence. Like, 'cause obviously getting drafted, you just don't really know, oh, can I compete at this level? What's everyone else like and that thing. And I think I've just really enjoyed the boys and the staff here. Really, it's like kind of a brotherhood. You see each other basically every day, and yeah, and it shows on the pitch. The more closer you are with your team and people around you, the better performance you're going to have. But yeah, it's just probably a big confidence booster for me.
And you've deserved it. You've been thrown into the starting lineup. The Warriors have gone with this sort of like super bench, which has been awesome. Like, it's crazy to bring in 3 Eagles and Fijian International and the MLR Player of the Year, Mikey Teo, which is awesome. He's been playing fullback and coming in for you. That's a unique setup. What's it been like for you to be the starter, and then in comes the amazing braids and skill of Mikey Teo.
I mean, it's unreal. Mikey just, he helps me a lot. He's just got a lot of experience, I think, and the vision he has on the field is just unbelievable. He sees, things 2 seconds faster than everyone else. But yeah, Mikey's been really helpful for me. He's just been guiding me basically whenever I've been playing or not.
And he cannot be tackled. First off, by one person, it feels like, and where he is going to get like at least 2 meters.
Yeah,
like it's
definitely.
unbelievable, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's always one-on-ones. He's beating that first guy no matter what, So.
His fend is he's so strong and quick, and yeah, it's just crazy. I love watching Mikey play. Okay, what did you expect MLR to be versus what you've seen now that you've played almost a full season?
I thought it'd be a lot more like you see compared to like the Premiership or overseas, like a lot of people, it's really fast-paced game. And coming here, yeah, it's definitely up there. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just maybe a bit different of game planning or something, or maybe skill set or something. But yeah, it's been really good me coming in the league. I think I've really enjoyed playing, and especially the boys around me have helped me a lot.
Obviously, it's a melting pot of people from all over the world that come play here. But talk to me about kind of American players and what you've been impressed with as rugby grows here, and then what's like the next step in your opinion for American players in rugby? Because when we look at soccer, it's like, hey, if you want to be an elite soccer player, you don't go play college. You have to go to Europe, right, and get in the academies and like grow up, and then you have like 10,000 hours, as the book says, of all these touches, and you have all this skill. What's your opinion as a dude from the UK who's been in the US for college and kind of seen rugby evolve?
Yeah, definitely. I think like soccer is one of those sports where you got to be like 15 or 16 and you start developing. But I found, coming to uni over here has been unbelievable for development, to be honest. You got that 4 years of growth, finding out what your strengths are, how is it your speed, is it your strength, and finding the right position for you. And just giving that 4 years at uni for development for a lot of like American players definitely here who have picked it up maybe at 16-year-old or 17 years old, whereas we're playing like, 4 or 5, which is a big difference.
Right.
But yeah, definitely, I think universities are a big catch for everyone if they want to go develop their skills and everything.
In like 20 years, someone's going to say, oh, I did the Junior Warriors with Ashley Burge, and now I'm in MLR. Like we're going to have that.
Definitely.
We're going to have that at some point. It's going to be awesome where it's like, yes, I was playing when I was little, and here we are. Yeah, one day it'll be awesome. Okay, talk to us about the final game of the season at Dallas. Obviously, you guys want to go win. You put up 69 points at home. How do you not just assume you're going to do the same thing and make sure you're ready to go? Because Dallas has played a lot of people tough. They haven't gotten that win quite yet. But how do you avoid just assuming you can just show up and dominate?
I think we all know that this is the one where Dallas are going to be going like, this is our last game. We need to get a win this season, kind of thing. And they're all going to bring everything they got. So we can't be going in there thinking, going to win and everything. But yeah, I think they had a few injuries out as well. So a lot of their boys are back playing. So yeah, it'll be a good contest, I think, this Saturday when we're ready for it.
Looking forward to it, and we'll preview that in just a minute. Well, Connor, congratulations on all the success. Shout out to Lindenwood, right?
Yeah,
to the homies in Missouri, which is awesome. So thanks for joining the show, and good luck on Saturday against Dallas.
Totally. Thank you for having me. Connor
Burns, right? He got his first taste of freedom, he said, with the jerseys. That's that's fantastic. Good stuff. Okay, this will be our 5th year holding the country's first community-based recreational co-ed touch rugby league. Yeah, let's go. Games begin Wednesday, July 13th. They run weekly every Wednesday evening, 7 to 9:30 for 10 weeks. Games will be held at the soccer training fields behind Zions Bank Stadium. And 2023 Warriors season tickets for each team, $1,000 in cash prizes to be won. Hey, sign up, touch.warriorsrugby.com. That's touch.warriorsrugby.com. Let's preview Utah and Dallas, the 16th game in 18 weeks, coming up on Saturday at 6 Mountain Time on KJazz. You can stream it as well on KSLSports.com and the Rugby Network Radio. We got you on Cool FM 105.5 and ESPN 960. A couple of storylines in this one. Niall Saunders won't be playing first off. Got the red card. That's the first thing. Second ever match with Dallas. Okay, earlier in the season, 69 points, which at the time was a Major League Rugby record. That was broken later. The Jackals are an expansion team, as we mentioned, newest in MLR. They're looking for their first win, 0-15. They have a negative 526-point differential. That is not ideal. They have 4 points, right? Some bonus points a couple of times. They lead MLR in penalties, yellows. They're tied for first with 11 cards. So, listen, Utah suddenly went from 3 to 6, so who knows? But Dallas, a team, like I mentioned, they have played teams tough. They have not gotten that win. And, Utah needs to make sure they're ready for that and go in, get a win, and, walk out and say, all right, this certainly wasn't the season we wanted, but we had a really nice finish to the season with winning in 3 of 4. That's what we hope happens. A couple of players to watch. Michael Matarazzo leads the team in minutes played. That guy is always on the pitch. Conrado Rora, the number 8, he leads the team in like everything. Tries, carries, meters run, dominant tackles. Very physical number 8. Adrian Karelsi, the fly half, 12 of 18 conversions. He's the guy that has the boot on his foot a lot. I believe he's a former Sabercat. And Bronson Tellis leads the team in tackles. He is physical as well. So keep an eye on those guys. Should be a fun game coming up on Saturday at 6 Mountain Time. We will have the call on the radio for that one, but you can stream it and watch it as well, and TV on KJS. Okay, let's bring in our second guest of the program. He's the captain of the U18 Academy team for the Utah Warriors. He's also a national champion out of Harriman High. Sake Tukuafu joins the program, and he's got that fresh lettuce going tonight. Sake, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Jarom?
I'm great. Dude, look at the fit right now. The Bulls repping? Like, did you just get drafted by the Chicago Bulls? What's going on here?
Oh, man, they've been my favorite team of all time since I could remember. So
that's awesome. And that's like the modern Bulls, because you were probably were you even alive for Jordan, bro?
Nah, but I grew up watching all of his games. So.
Yeah. Love it. It was fun. People that love LeBron more than Jordan, I'm like, you didn't watch that. Tells me you didn't watch Jordan. Like, I'm a Jordan guy. Obviously, my last name and whatever, but like, yeah. So I appreciate that, man. That's awesome, dude. Okay, so let's talk about kind of who you are and what you've been doing. So you're a kid that plays on the U18 Academy team for the Warriors. You won the Natty with Harriman. You're repping, man. You're repping Harriman, it feels like. What's life like right now as a successful rugby player?
It's been pretty good, honestly. Right now, we're just getting ready for graduation tomorrow, at Harriman High School. So you're graduating tomorrow? Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a time for you.
Yep. Can't wait to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a big deal. That's cool, man. And let's talk about the background. That's not for graduation. That's for your sister's birthday, I understand.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Her birthday was back in like May 3rd, and it's like June 1st now. So
no matter.
All right,
Yeah, just have a good time. Whatever. It's festive, man. It's festive. That's awesome. Okay, so where are you from originally? What's your kind of journey to the to Harriman, and are you from Harriman and the academy?
So I was born and raised in Tonga, and we came here to Hawaii. We flew out on Hawaii in March 2020 to visit my sister, who was going to serve a LDS mission. And the week we're supposed to go back, the borders closed. So instead of going back to Tonga, we flew here to Utah, and we've been here ever since.
Wow. So kind of junior, maybe end of sophomore, and then junior and senior year.
Yep.
At Harriman, something like that. Yep. Wow. What was that like? Because obviously, have you been back to Tonga since?
No, not yet. The borders are still closed.
Do you miss it?
Yeah. Island life.
Yeah, not being home for that long would be crazy. Okay, so you come here. I assume you grew up playing rugby in Tonga?
Yep.
Okay.
I grew up playing rugby league.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Till we moved out here.
Yep. So you got used to Union?
Yep. So playing my junior year here in Harriman was basically my first year playing in Union.
Your first year?
It was an adjustment, all right.
Yeah. And you're like, hey, let's just win a national championship. Like, let's go. Was Tomasi Tonga on your team?
No. So he graduated 2016.
Oh, he's that old? I thought he was younger. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, he's kind of old.
He's young.
So don't
Yeah.
tell him I said that.
Yeah. He'll never find out. This isn't even live on the internet or being replayed on the radio at all. Okay, awesome. So you're a fly half and a center, and I talked to your coach Ashley Burge, and she was said some very nice things about you. She said that you play with a chip on your shoulder. That a lot of times you are doubted, for your size, but that you kind of rise up in that moment and answer that. Is that an accurate description of sort of where you come from?
Yeah, mostly accurate. When I was 15, my dad was coaching the U15's national team for Tonga, and we went on a tour to Australia, and my dad told me that there was a lot of doubt between that selection and me at fly half. He just told me that it doesn't matter how many people doubt you; it's what you do with that doubt, and it's just stuck with me ever since. So
that's awesome. You gotta have a certain motivation. Did you watch The Last Dance on Netflix about Michael Jordan?
I watched it when it came out.
Oh, so good, right? I think we all did. We were just bored. We're like,
oh yeah,
I would have watched it no matter what, but especially then, I was like, this is like the series finale of the biggest TV show of all time or something, Michael Jordan in that, remember, he said, and I took that personally. Like, he grabbed whatever thing he needed to be motivated, right? Which is interesting. And that's yours, it sounds like. Okay, tell us about the academy team for the Utah Warriors. You guys went on the road. Crazy travel sequence is what I heard, but you guys show up and play a bunch of games. I know you wanted to win more, but kind of how'd the team play and how'd the development of some of those young guys go?
It was, definitely crazy travel. We had to play a game the same day we got there, and I think that took a toll on the boys. But we came out on Sunday, and with the mindset that we weren't gonna go back without a win. And even though we lost our first game, we were able to click that switch on for the next game to just play with a chip on our shoulder. And a lot of us, we aren't really too used to playing with each other yet. We haven't really had much time to gel in with each other, being the season just ending. But I feel like the more we play together and as a unit, our team would be really dangerous.
Absolutely. We're talking to Sake Tukuafu, the captain of the Utah Warriors U18 Academy team. What did it mean to you to be the captain of that group?
Oh, it's an honor. To be selected as captain or a leader of any group is an honor. But to be a leader of these men that have bright futures ahead of them, it's surreal. It's truly an honor.
It's awesome, man. I would hope you'd walk around with that Chicago Bulls jacket on and be like, this is the drip we need for this group to succeed, right? This is what we need. Okay, so Ashley said you played for the USA U20 team?
Oh, correct.
That's awesome. What's in your future, man, with rugby? Because it sounds like it's pretty bright.
Oh yeah. Right now the Warriors are definitely an option. I was grateful to have the opportunity to practice with them for a little bit. It was a great atmosphere. Play with the academy, play with the USA Eagles, the U20s, and hopefully make it onto the U20s Amsterdam tour this July. But I think as of right now, we're just gonna go with the flow. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome. And then, hey, in 9 years or earlier, in 9 years, maybe a World Cup in the U.S., huh?
Sounds like a plan.
That'd be awesome. It's coming here, which is pretty cool. Ashley said that you guys were at the Olympic Training Center as well, and they're like gold medalists walking around in track and whatnot in different sports. Like, what was that like?
Oh yeah, it was
pretty
crazy. It was pretty crazy seeing growing up as a kid and watching the Olympics, because back home in Tonga, track and field is pretty big out there. So growing up watching the Olympics, seeing all these track and field athletes, the U.S. being very dominant in that event, and then coming here and seeing those people in person, it's crazy to me. I never thought growing up on an island that I'd be able to see them in real life.
That's a pretty cool experience, no matter where you're from. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Well, congratulations on all the success, and I know you guys put in some good work down in Southern California, and you dealt with the hand you were dealt, but you played well. And congrats on your sister's birthday a month ago, and graduating high school tomorrow, bro. That's so exciting.
Thank you. Been a rough 4 years.
Seriously. You started in Tonga and there's a pandemic, and here you are, a national champ, an academy kid, and you just got drafted by the Chicago Bulls. It's just crazy. So,
thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining the show, man. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Jared.
Sake Tukuafu on Dub Nation. Man, he's graduating high school tomorrow. He's got the drip, dude. I'm jealous, man. I'm getting old over here. I can't wear a jacket like that, look like that. That's pretty awesome, man. Speaking of drip, Zion Going. He's got a great name. He's got a great game. He's been awesome for the Warriors, starting at scrum half. Last several games, joined the team midseason, jumped in the starting lineup, been a spark down the stretch, helping beat Atlanta, Austin, nearly LA. Here's Zion mic'd up at practice.
Yeah, you want to be mic'd?
I'd like to take your hat.
No.
Where'd you get all this hat from, man?
Any of the boys want to swap with a 3XL?
That's real nice.
Look at this stooge, mate. Look at this stooge. Yeah, boys, I got the mic so we can't cover the mic. Hey, Ashley Burge, have you got a problem with New Zealanders? Say it now. Mate, don't put that in, alright? I'm going to get in trouble.
Come on.
We're just here with the best SNC coach ever. What do you want to say to them, mate?
I love you. I love my team. I love Zion. He's a man of his word, and he does his work in gym.
Yuri, hit the bench, boss. Come on. Oh, how many touches are you giving, sir? The bench is still warm from last time. Up the mighty runners, mate. All day. Mate, it's go time right now, mate. Switch on.
I love Zion, the diamond. Look at him, glistening.
He said it, not me.
That's what it is.
Zion Going. He's been a fun addition, good personality. If you follow the program, you know that his wife had their second child here a couple of weeks ago. He's been here. So hopefully here soon, he's going to be able to go home and hang out with the family, which would be pretty awesome. Well, join us on July 2nd in the parking lot of the team store at Zions Bank Stadium, where we're going to have the 2022 gear. We're gonna get rid of it. Okay, come get it. You can shop on shop.warriorsrugby.com. You can also come get it physically in Harriman, Zions Bank Stadium on July 2nd when Harriman hosts the Collegiate Rugby Shield. Which brings us to our third and final guest, one of the most interesting men in the world, Nic Colling, the assistant GM of the Utah Warriors and the founder of the Collegiate Rugby Shield. He is on Dub Nation. Nic, what's up, man? How you doing?
How's it going, Jarom? Thanks for having me.
It's good. Is that okay? Who has signed your Tampa Bay helmet there?
I think we all know.
Look at you,
one and only.
Look,
Tom Brady. Yeah.
How much did you pay for that?
It was a birthday, actually graduation gift. So
nice.
I don't fully know, and I don't want to know. Thank you for people that got it for me. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining that. No, just kidding. Okay, let's talk about the Collegiate Rugby Shield, which is a massive deal coming to Utah. It's going to be on FS1. It's at Zions Bank Stadium. It's at Harriman. You're the founder of this. Tell us more about what this is.
Yeah, so I think the best way to look at it is through the lens of what American sports fans know with the NFL and kind of their pre-draft rituals that they do every year, in which they have the NFL Combine, which there's going to be other combines for the MLR draft. But more importantly, they also have the Senior Bowl. And so this is kind of pulling a trick out of that hat in which we're going to have some of the top players from collegiate rugby here in Harriman, Utah, at Zions Bank Stadium to play in a match that's going to be nationally televised and really hoping to showcase their talent in front of all the MLR teams.
That's really cool. Has this been going for a couple of years now, or is this the first one?
This is an inaugural event. This is the first of its kind.
Very cool.
There's been nothing else in college rugby in this kind of transition to the MLR or any professional ranks. And we've got a lot of positive reception from it, from MLR teams, and then even people with the USA Eagles and looking at possible players to come through there. For example, Tavite Lopetti, who was drafted last year, he went straight from being drafted to the USA Eagles and then joined the Seattle Seawolves. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing somebody playing in Zions Bank Stadium this upcoming month, I guess. And hopefully they can make their ways to an Eagles roster. Maybe not this year, but in years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, these are kids that in theory could be the veterans on the USA World Cup team in the US that we got.
As we say, is that it starts at the Shield. It starts here in Harriman City, here within the Utah Warriors organization. Then from there, all the way up to the World Cup in 2031.
Yeah, that's exciting. So you mentioned the Senior Bowl. There's like practices. Yeah, there's some drills, like a lot of scouts, a lot of teams come in. Is that sort of that's kind of the vibe you want to?
Yeah, exactly. This is ultimately like a event to push professional development. Like, for example, with someone like Connor Burns, he's an individual we talked to, as well as his other rookie teammates like Colson Warner, Emerson Pryor, and Joey Bakke. It's like, what did you want to know coming into the MLR draft that you didn't know? What type of things did you want teams to know about you that they didn't know? Those type of things that are crucial to front offices in selecting these players. And so we wanted to provide an area for them to showcase those things, for teams to be able to ask questions, and also for them to just learn what it means to be a professional rugby player. So being in practice environment for a few days before this event, coached by some of the top collegiate and pathways of international pathway coaches, moving them into this direction of a professional mindset as they go from being in obviously the college ranks to the MLR or anything past that.
That's awesome. And it makes me think, whoa, why haven't we had this before? Because it seems like such a great idea. That's what innovation does. You think, why didn't we do this before? But yeah, here we are. So it's going to be, it sounds like June 29th, people coming to town. Then July 2nd, there's kind of a game that people can go to.
Exactly. So players will get in actually June 28th. June 29th will be the first practice, like you said. So we'll have a few trainings, the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st. We'll go from there into then divvying out the squads and then having the event, full 15s match, full 80 minutes. There's actually going to be 2 rosters of 25, so 50 total players. So we're doing even more than just a 23-man roster to really get as many players as we can here to showcase their talent, because that's what it is. It's about making sure that they have the best footing to get to that next level.
And it'll be fun to watch because we've seen in the league rookies have an impact. Let's talk about the Warriors rookies who did. You mentioned them: Connor Burns, Emerson Pryor. They have started the last several weeks. Joey Bakke has contributed. Colson Warner scored, I think, the 100th try, in team history, which is super cool. Rookies have come in and played a role. How much will this help? Obviously, the Warriors and all MLR teams to try and do what the Warriors have done this year, which is we drafted guys and they play.
Yeah, it's really that opportunity to build out the draft to be something that you can actually – it's not going to end up being a piece in which a team just willingly gives up a first-round draft pick. Like, if we look at any negotiations for NBA draft, NFL draft, these picks are worth quite a bit of dough for teams. They give up a lot of assets for some of these picks. So that's the hope, is getting – it to the point where it's like, hey, like there's quality talent out there and you don't have to go out and try to find them in the middle of nowhere. And I apologize to Connor Burns about this, but St. Charles, Missouri, and try to find them there where you can just watch them all in one place here at Zions Bank Stadium, or if you can't make it, on FS1.
Listen, Lindenwood's putting out a ton of people, right? They're doing a great job creating pros here. Okay,
they're putting themselves on the map.
Yes, yes. We all know St. Charles now. Like
Yes.
rugby in St. Charles is a thing now, right? Which is awesome. Okay, so is there anything else about the Collegiate Rugby Shield that people need to know about?
I think one of the most exciting parts is we've got what specifically Utah people like the most, because I'm born and raised here in Utah, and I know people love their fireworks. So if you want to catch a great show on the pitch, wait for after dark, and we'll have some fireworks. And then also, you can come also see our last guest, Saki. He will be playing with the rest of the Utah Warriors Academy team, and they'll play a North versus South Academy, which the Southern Academy was just launched recently for southern parts of Utah and even down into Nevada as well.
Very cool. That'd be awesome. I can't wait to watch him play in person as well. This is going to be fun. Okay, I did want to ask you about, as the assistant GM of the Warriors, what kind of off-season timeline and needs have you guys talked about as you assess what you want to get into before 2023?
Right now, the whole entire major thought is this week. Like, we need to get through this week and this week only. That's our only thought process, is to go in, have a good showing for Dub Nation against Dallas, and then after that, we'll begin to have those discussions. We really think that we can showcase that this season was just a minor speed bump, and we're still on a good path going forward, but we'll get to that in a couple of weeks from now.
What do you feel like was the cause of the speed bump? Because there were certainly injuries and execution, obviously, and as the front office, like, what do you pinpoint and go, okay, we know that this is correctable?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Like, it was tough. I think it's tough to put it on this, but COVID-19 still had a lot of impact. We were meant to go play a few preseason matches, but we were basically canceled at the very last moment with some of these teams because we weren't able to travel to where we were supposed to, and the teams weren't able to put out an entire team. And so it really stagnated us there. Like, we were trying to learn as we were going, and it was just tough. But hopefully we got the right things in place for the season. That won't be the case. I think the MLR is also working on a preseason match schedule, that it won't just be up to the teams to do those type of scheduling events, that will actually have things scheduled out through the MLR.
And it makes it tough because obviously preseason in January, February, Utah Warriors got to go travel. It is what it is. You don't want to play in 10-degree weather in the snow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care to be here in Utah much when it's January, February. So who wants to go out and watch a rugby game at that point? No, like, it's tough. Like, you can see with our schedule this year, we started the season 3 games on the road, which didn't help again with chemistry and everything. So those type of things, it's a tough thing that we have to get over, a hurdle we have to get over playing in here in Utah. But going forward, it's like, it's part of our DNA, like us as Utahns growing up here, and now people that we've adopted into Utah by playing with the Warriors, like, they learn pretty quickly that it's about being tough and being able to fight off this cold and unpredictable weather and just living with it and using it to our advantage.
A couple of years ago, I want to say it was 2019, played NOLA in late February, and they were like, maybe you remember, like 6 inches of snow, and it's like, can we not do this again? And luckily we haven't, and I don't think we ever will. But Nick, we're looking forward to the end of the season this week at Dallas, as you mentioned, then the Collegiate Rugby Shield coming up July 2nd. That's going to be awesome. Thanks for joining the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Nic Colling, assistant GM of the Utah Warriors and the founder of the Collegiate Rugby Shield. Man, I'm stoked for that. That's going to be awesome. And you can watch it on FS1. If you're local, hey, come out, see some fireworks, see some great rugby, some of these great prospects. It'll be awesome. I'm sure we'll have a couple locals, right, from some of the local colleges, Utah and UVU and Utah State and BYU perhaps. We'll see what we get, but that'll be awesome. A reminder as we end the program, you can sign up and reserve your 2023 season tickets. Call 801-477-7652, 801-477-7652. Had some great games at home. Warriors were awesome at home. Finished 4-4, beat some really good teams. It was great. Get your season tickets. Come hang out with us if you haven't already. It's going to be awesome. Okay, that'll do it for the show. We'll talk to you on the radio for Utah Warriors season finale at Dallas, Cool FM 105.5, ESPN 960. 6 Mountain Time Saturday night. You can also watch it on KJAZ in Utah, stream on KSLSports.com and the Rugby Network. Don't forget to like and share this episode of Dub Nation. Follow the Utah Warriors on social media. Our thanks to Connor Burns, Sake Tukuafu, and Nic Colling. Because guess what? I needed some company on this one. And it was fun. Banksy, we missed you. We'll see you next week. Today's show was produced by Billy Rathule and Mason Benson. For our guests and those guys, I'm Jarom Jordan. Go Warriors.